Okay, awesome. Rohan Patel, comic book movie. Hey everyone, how are you?
Hi.
Hi.
Awesome.
Hello.
Great to meet all of you. So I wanted to get started with Katya. Kristen has a very unique reaction to Leland's news about the baby. So did you feel like that was sort of the appropriate reaction? And what would you say about her dynamic with the child moving forward?
I think with Leland, it's sort of like a very high level chess game that she's playing, and there's some enjoyment in trying to take each other down psychologically, or in his case also violently. And I think she decided that the best way to deal with what situation he put her in was to try and sort of castrate him with just throwing it back at him, and just not be shocked, and just go like, oh, you poor little baby, look at what you did to yourself. You're going to be in diapers, you stupid fuck. I don't know, can I swear? Like, I said to him, like, you've just fucked yourself more than you know. And I congratulate him, and I pretend to not worry about this baby and think, like, the world is crazy enough. That's it. I'm done worrying about things. I'm living my life. I've got 4 beautiful children. I've got a job I love. And, there's a lot of people trying to drive me crazy, and I'm not going to succumb to that. And he can go figure it out with this baby.
Absolutely. And then Asif, Ben goes through something unique in the premiere that kind of affects him throughout the rest of the 4 episodes that we get to see. What would you say about his headspace moving forward and how he's sort of grappling with his new sort of predicament?
So Ben has this experience where, the beam goes through his head, and then he's dealing with a physical thing happening to him, and so and it's a physical medical condition, but it's also overlapping into like a paranormal experience. And so he doesn't know what to make of it. And what I love about it is that he is for a guy who's completely competent and always able to explain his way out of whatever is happening in some way, he can't with this one. And it's also happening to him physically. So in the past, like, Ben has not been able to explain things and he can just let it go. But in this case, he can't let it go. It lives with him 24/7, which I think is really interesting. And you start to see unraveling and an unhinging of Ben a little bit because of this, which, can happen to you if you're dealing with something medical that no one can diagnose. And yet at the same time, you start to go, oh, well, then maybe there's something else going on that I can't explain. So I like the fact that we're leaning into that for Ben a little bit more, and he's getting pulled in that direction more than he wants to.
Yeah, yeah. And then Mike, when you have saying, I mean, you hear 38 days, woe to Babylon, and it can mean a bunch of things, the Antichrist, the apocalypse. What kind of would you say, how does this shape sort of David's journey through the rest of this season, and what does that kind of mean to him, or how is he processing?
Well, it puts a bit of pace to things. You got 38 days. You have like this finite time frame in which something's going to happen, and with the introduction of this baby, which I mean, it's so bizarre, but at the same time, it's like, I think, as I recall, the way I played it, but also the way it was written and the way it was shot. I mean, that's information that it's huge information for Kristen, but it's also David. He has to sort of like assess what that threat is and does it make sense, and how he's a friend to Kristen and he loves her, but what does this mean? Is this baby actually the Antichrist, and what does it mean, right? And so the entities, they're after it, or the baby, it's hers. He has to protect her, but he also has to do what he feels is right. And so I think this 38-day thing it just adds a bit of pace to everything. And I think obviously with the ending of the show brought a bit prematurely, we've had to tweak it a bit. But I mean, it just adds a bit of pace and urgency to what this world is and what we're dealing with.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't want to keep you too long, but then the 3 of you have shared this really special chemistry. And then as you're filming these, I think the season has 14 episodes, you have 4 more episodes that you're filming. What kind of would you say, what would you tease about these last 4 episodes and how you can bring an ideal ending to your trio sort of arc?
I don't know if it's an ideal ending, but it is an ending to a certain chapter of this story. And if there is a future, that's the next chapter of it. So I think what we do very well and what the Kings did very well was sort of close certain things, and then there are certain things that will always be inexplicable on our show. And that's what's the beauty of the show, is that there are certain things that will always remain unexplained. And but I think we create a nice closure for the end of this chapter. It may be the last chapter, or it may be just the first chapter of a story. So that is yet to be determined, I guess.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. It's great to meet up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.